Good morning, Governor Sanders.
Good morning. It is great to be with you. And I only called because it was your birthday, and I wanted to be the one of the first to wish you happy birthday. I would sing, but my voice is terrible, and I don't want all of your listeners to tune out and turn the radio off. So I will spare you and everybody else, but I do sincerely wish you a very happy birthday today.
Oh, that's very nice of you. You have been very busy. Lead story on the news this morning. It's always good to talk to you, and it's always great whenever you get good news about the state of Arkansas, and especially here in southern Arkansas. And yesterday, the big announcement from Exxon-Mobil, and I see where if this goes through and works the way everybody thinks it will, then Arkansas will be providing what about 15% of the needs of lithium for the world. Now, I was just curious: are you a Star Trek fan?
I'm not, but I may have to become one if this thing takes off.
Wait,
Maybe there's a good nexus there.
yeah, I was just wondering if there was any dilithium crystals or anything like that. But anyway, that's so. Give us a little update on this because this is really big news for Arkansas.
Well, I'm not a Star Trek fan, but I am a diehard job creation fan, especially in South Arkansas, and that's exactly what I think that the lithium possibilities are going to bring to the entire southern region of our state. We announced yesterday Exxon is going to be drilling their first well for lithium. The scope of the project and the level of investment is in the hundreds of millions of dollars for Exxon, and has tremendous long-term impact for our state in a very positive way. This brings jobs, this brings economic power, a lot of different things to that area if all goes as expected. But the beginning stages are really positive for the state, and that alone is going to, again, make a great economic impact across all of South Arkansas. And as you know, this part of our state is not new to being a leader in the energy industry. And right now, while we are watching crisis after crisis unfold around the world, Arkansas being able to be a key energy supplier is a big deal for our state. And so I'm excited about the possibilities and what this can mean for Arkansas.
Yeah, it sounds like it's great news all the way around. Now, have they mentioned about how many jobs this may bring to the state?
At this point, it's a bit unknown. They will have to bring in people to help with extraction and processing, but the investment made will impact, local small businesses and restaurants and retail and all those other things as well in the long term. And there are other companies that are looking at making similar plays, and so we're still in the very early stages, but so far just the level of investment shows the long-term commitment by some of the biggest companies in the world, and that's a very positive and good thing for the state.
Absolutely, because they're not going to spend that kind of money unless they really feel like there's something there. They're not going to try to waste anything for sure. That's great
And that's
news.
usually not something they do, and in 2 months, this is something that happens over the course of several years. So again, it brings great economic stability to those communities as well.
Well, that's great news, and we'll certainly keep up with that because that means a lot of good things for a lot of people. And I guess if in Columbia County, if that goes well, then they will probably expand. And I know Standard Lithium is already doing a project in Union County. So actually, very good news for the southern part of the state, which
Absolutely, it's a big deal.
it really is. So other things that are going on, and keep us up to date on that one. There was something in yesterday with Fox News. You were on there talking about the out-of-state immigration to Arkansas, and I've been hearing that. Well, a couple of things about Arkansas. Number one is a lot of people leave in California. They come into Arkansas and other states, and they come into Arkansas. That's good news. But tell us a little bit about the out-of-state immigration to Arkansas. What's going on there?
What we're seeing, it hasn't mattered what community I've been to, every single town in Arkansas, both big and small, I meet someone who has moved here in the last couple of years because they love what they're seeing happen in Arkansas. They love the opportunity that exists here. They love the freedom that exists, the values that are important to us. And so we're seeing people move in large numbers. Just this year alone, we've already had over 30,000 new people move into the state and change their residency to become Arkansans, which is an exciting thing. A large portion of that are coming from California. I think people are sick and tired of what's happening there, and they love the idea that we are cutting taxes, we're getting regulations out of the way, we're doubling down in a big way and in a good way on education, and really focusing on the things that matter and impact people's everyday lives. And we're working hard to make Arkansas the best state in the country to live, to work, to raise your family. And I think people are seeing that. They're attracted to it, and that's why we're seeing our numbers move up so much.
Talking with the Arkansas Governor, Sarah Sanders, this morning. Oh, and I also saw that it wasn't too long ago that you told a couple of countries, you can't come in here and buy Arkansas.
I think if you're paying attention to what's happening around the world, there's some scary things. One of the biggest is the takeover that China is trying to intrude in every area of American life, but in particular our farmland. And to me, our farmland and our agriculture community, one, it's a big part of who Arkansas is, a big part of our history and our state. It's our biggest industry that we have in terms of revenue, but it's also a security issue. If we can't protect our ability to feed ourselves, our state and our country, then we're giving up one of the most important ways to maintain our long-term freedom and our long-term security. And so protecting that is a big deal. And we have passed a law with the help of amazing legislators here in the state during the session that if you are a Chinese-owned company, you cannot own farmland in the state of Arkansas. We determined through an investigation led by our administration that was happening by a company named Syngenta, and we kicked them out. Not only that, but through the Attorney General's office, we were able to really hold their feet to the fire and make them pay a fine for breaking Arkansas law, and they had to also send us a check last week for $280,000.
Well, that's a good deal. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, there's so many security things that raises red flags on, and we might as well get it and catch it early, and just tell them, no, you can't do it. That's good news. So also last week, because you've been very busy, I know you as a governor you are. You endorsed somebody for president. Who would that be?
I did. I endorsed my good friend and former boss, President Trump. And, you know, to me, this election is so simple and so clear. The contrast is between who the race is ultimately going to be between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. I don't see anybody changing the dynamic of that race or mixing it up. And so you have two people who have both held office, have a record to run on. I think if you look at the records of those two people, the contrast is very stark. We have one person in Joe Biden who supports open borders, a weaker America at home and abroad. Just look at the disasters in the withdrawal from Afghanistan, things happening in Ukraine and the Middle East, all under Joe Biden's watch, out of control inflation. All things that were not happening under Donald Trump's watch. And so if we want a secure border, if we want prosperity and security, Donald Trump is the guy that can deliver that. He's done it before. We know he can do it again. So if you look at it, it's very clear you've got one person running on a record of success and one person running on a record of failure. I think that is pretty clear, and I think most Arkansans agree.
Yes, indeed. There was another thing. Let me ask you this: when President Trump gets back in there, and he's president again, and he says, "Hey, Sarah, I want you to come be my press secretary again," would you do it?
No, I've definitely done that job, and I love being governor. I love being home in Arkansas, and certainly wouldn't want to go backwards. And I have definitely done my time in that role, and loved it, but glad to close that chapter of my life.
That's a tough job, isn't it?
It most certainly is, but it's a great job. I had an amazing opportunity to be part of some really special and transformative things in American history,
Hmm.
and I'm proud of the work I was able to do. But I love what we're able to do here in Arkansas. The incredible things that we're able to get done. We've cut taxes not once but twice. We've transformed and changed our education system to really
Yeah.
empower our parents and serve our students better. So I'm really excited about the things we're able to do here on the ground, and look forward to continuing to do it more.
Yeah. Well, we need you here for sure. Two real quick things that aren't on my list here, but I'm gonna. San Francisco. Did you see that? That they've handled this homeless problem, just nasty streets. San Francisco looked terrible. So what's his name? President Xi, I think it is, or Z or
It
whatever.
is President Xi of China.
Yeah, he's coming in. All of a sudden, the streets are clean.
Yeah, it's
Isn't that
amazing
crazy?
how it is. It's amazing how they were able to do that and get things cleaned up. The saddest part is that the leaders of California are showing that they're capable of cleaning up the streets and making changes. They've just chosen not to.
Yeah,
We're trying
yeah.
to do the total opposite here in Arkansas. We're cleaning up our streets, cracking down on crime, and we're doing that because we want to help our Kansans, not because we want to help the Communist Chinese Party.
And one other thing, as governor, is there anything you can do to help the Razorbacks, the Hogs? Come on, the football
If
team.
I had that kind of power, I would certainly use it. This past week was a tough loss for the Hogs. I remain hopeful that we can finish the rest of the season strong. I would certainly like that for our state and definitely for our team. We could definitely use some wins. I'm glad our basketball team looks good, but I'd like to see the football team close out the season with a few more wins.
Yeah, that'd really be nice. I know you got a lot of things going on. I just want to thank you for calling in and chatting with us today. It's always fun to talk to you, and when you bring such great news to us, man, that's always great. So we'll look forward to the Exxon Mobil mobilization. As they come into Arkansas and start hopefully spreading some of that money around and making Arkansas number one in something else besides just rice and a
Absolutely.
few things. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say thank you so much for having me on, and I hope that this is the beginning of the best birthday you've ever had.